then we see doves at the end of his ministry at the temple. John chapter 2, the gospel tells us that at the temple there was the selling of sacrificial animals, which is really good because pilgrims didn't need to bring their sacrificial animals to the temple. They could just purchase it right there. There's also what we call money changing occurring in the temple. Now what that meant was that you brought your money to the temple and you had to purchase a temple coin in order to make a sacrifice. Jesus saw what was going on, the selling of sacrificial animals, the money changing into the temple coin, and he made a whip and he cleared out the temple. Jesus had a zeal for God's house. And I can imagine as he's overturning the tables and whatnot, these doves that were in the cages would be in broken cages and they would just fly away. The ministry, if you want to call it that was going on was a convenience ministry. You come to the temple, you purchase your animals, you purchase the coin, and then you can have your sacrifice and have your sins forgiven by the sacrifice. But there's a great profit being made. The coin is what they called a temple tax. How many of us like taxes? Nobody likes taxes. And yet, in order to make a sacrifice, you had to pay up the temple tax. And it was typically equal to 2 days of wages annually. Doesn't sound like a whole lot. But the problem is this. The money that was being made on the sales of the sacrificial animals, the money that was being exchanged in order to have the temple coin went to the priest. There seemed to be more business going on than worship. Because the selling of the animals and the money changing was occurring in what's called on the Temple Mount the porch of Gentiles. You see, Jesus wasn't having a real problem with the selling of the animals and the temple coin. What he was having a problem with was that it was hampering the worship of all people, for God so loved the world. Now, the Gentiles were only allowed to be on the porch of Gentiles at the temple. They couldn't go any further because they were not Jewish. But even on the porch of the Gentiles, Gentiles were worshiping. And yet, because they had these sales going on and had the money changing going on, the Gentiles were pushed off of the mount and was not able to worship or pray. That was the problem that Jesus had, is that worship was being hampered. It was too loud at the porch with all of these animals making all of their noises. And the various money changers barking out that I've got the best rate, enticing people to come and buy their temple coin. It became a place for business. It stopped being a place for prayer and for worship, even by the Gentiles.